Welcome to another video, guys. Today we're going to talk about what you should not do in your statement of purpose. Because as much as knowing what you should write in your statement of purpose is important, well, I think it's the same amount when it comes to measuring the importance of what you really should not do on your statement of purpose. Now, this is important for a lot of reasons because you might follow the video I made on what you should be doing on your statement of purpose and basically how you should be structuring it. I described there, why the statement of purpose is important and what it can potentially do for you. And I also gave you, paragraph by paragraph breakdown, what you should include in first paragraph, second paragraph, third, everything, that you need to know. So if you haven't checked that video out, I strongly suggest you check that video out before you continue watching this video. All right. Uh, Again, the link should be somewhere in the description. Okay, but if you have watched that video, these are the kind of mistakes that you should avoid because I know I told you about those 7 8 paragraphs that you should actually write in your statement of purpose, but at the end of the day, if you do not have you know well, let's just say that you have a well structured essay, everything is great. But apart from all those points that I told you, there's a few things that you might want to mention. Like the first paragraph I told you about in that video was kind of vague. I told you about how you should have a catchy, line or something, or maybe they should basically want to read your essay because of that. Now, a lot of people might not understand what this means, and this is a very vague statement. So I want to clear these things up. And I've actually been reading a lot of guidelines by other professors from other universities, and I was actually reading this one. This is another one of these. And, there's the common mistakes that many applicants make, and I'm going to talk about these right now, right? So let's talk about these. There are a few common mistakes that you should avoid making, and these are potential mistakes that would kind of make your application go from the accepts file into the rejects file, right? So you don't want that. So let's talk about these. The first is the grade regurgitator, whatever that is. Okay, so the thing is that, all right, let's first read through this first paragraph. This is the actual, let's say, part or first paragraph of someone who's actually applying and has a statement of purpose. And this is his statement of purpose. This is how it begins, or this is something that his statement of purpose includes. Right. So I'm going to read it out for you guys. Right. In my high school, I was ranked number one. Then I got a perfect score on my college entrance exams. Then I competed in a statewide math competition, and I was the best. Then I competed in a national programming competition, and I was fifth. In college, my GPA was 3.95 out of 4. For these reasons, I believe I will do well in your graduate department. Well, you know how basically this was kind of boring and he didn't make it crisp or whatever. But at the same time, you know, listing them all out, I'm sure these are the achievements that he has already listed out on his resume. So I mean, these are the kind of achievements you would, potentially list out on your resume, that you kind of, have this GPA, this, and basically, you're rank one or whatever. But, this is kind of a waste of space. Remember how I actually told you that, your statement of purpose needs to be concise and to the point. It should not have irrelevant details, it should not be elongated, and basically every single line, think about it. If that line doesn't need to be there, then throw that out, because that's gonna cause your statement of purpose to be, well, they won't look at it the same. Just think about it. You're reading 500 applications in a day, and another statement of purpose comes in front of you after reading 400 of them, and it's 3 pages long or something, 2.5 pages, 2 pages, 3 pages long. Well, what are you going to think about it? You would want to skim through it, right? You don't want to read every single line after you've read those 400 statement of purpose papers. So it's gonna get like kind of biased judgment. They wouldn't really like the look of the paper itself because it's so elongated, and well, they're going to have to read so much of it. And when they read this paragraph, it's gonna feel like, even though maybe you were including two pages in your SOP, but maybe it could have been filled up with relevant information. But if you're filling it up with irrelevant information, that they have already read from other parts of your applications. I mean, there's a separate section normally when you apply to these applications. If you would like to see me, make a video on how I'm actually applying to these, or videos of portals or whatever, I can do that too. But whenever you open up a portal, you will see that there's a separate section which has awards and honors and whatever listed down, and you have this form, and basically they tell you that list everything that you want to over here, all your awards, all your honors, wherever it is, just achievements, put them down over here. Well, so basically the admissions committee is already gonna have to go through it over there, and if they're going through it over here again, they don't need a revision of your achievements, right? So you're kind of being very, very redundant here. And I would advise that you stay away from this thing. If there's something that's already been mentioned, well, don't mention it again. Okay? This is, by the way, for this document, by the way, is for PhD applicants, so don't stick to it. It'll say that you need to cite more research and everything. It says that it will only piss off the people reviewing your application, because they already read all this information earlier in your application, and they now want to hear about your research. Well, this is for PhD applications, so don't really go point to point on this. Whatever I'm telling you is for the master's process, again, because I'm in the same process as you guys. But trust me, even if you don't have significant research, try to include some of it, even if it is minor. Don't shy away from it, and just remove these kinds of paragraphs. So this is one of the mistakes that I wanted to talk about. Another one is the boy genius kind of a mistake. There's only two, by the way. I'm actually bringing you content that I actually find as I find it. So if whenever I'm researching and I find that this is something that you guys should know, I will bring it to you. Okay, so don't be kind of skeptical about if I have multiple videos. It's always gonna have some new content for you guys. Okay, so this one is, well, sometimes people say, I was this precocious kind of a child. Ever since I was born, I wanted to do a PhD. Well, you know what? Out of those 500 applicants, probably 20% of those claim that they wanted to do a PhD or wanted to be a professor ever since they were 5 years old or something. Don't do that. So let's actually read this guy's statement of purpose. This is like his first paragraph. Most people do this in their first paragraph. Let me remind you, this is not catchy, and this won't catch your, you know, whatever it is, like their information, their attention. This won't really do that for you. So let's read it. When I was born, my mother gave me a glass ball to play with. I would lay and look at prisms of light shining through my ball. At age 3, and at age 3, damn, I don't even know how he remembers this stuff, but okay. My father brought home our first computer, and I disassembled it, and then I put it back together. So he basically broke down the computer, and he basically put it back down together. He's saying that it was then that I knew I wanted to become a computer scientist. By the age 5, okay, within 2 years, I had taken apart every appliance in our house. At age 6, I became a chess whiz. So basically, this guy is a wizard. He's everywhere. He's done everything. You name it. There's basically nothing that this guy hasn't done. I suppose he's taken apart all of his house, his laptop, his PlayStation, his television, his refrigerator. He's done everything. He's a genius. I don't know why he needs this degree, first of all, but yeah, this kind of thing, try to stay away from this. Let's read the response that this professor has given. We simply don't care what you did as a child, and we don't believe you either. Well, of course, why would they believe you? Because a lot of people are potentially lying, and you can't provide proof for all this kind uh, of talk that you just provided. This kind of a paragraph, you can't provide proof for it, because you will obviously say, "You, dude, I was 5 years old. How can I provide you proof for any of that?" No. So, okay, you'd be surprised how many applicants Einstein's wannabes from Einstein's wannabes we get. Okay, so basically, these kinds of boy genius kind of applications, a lot of them, they're saying they get a lot of them. If you really think this is relevant, put the important facts on a sheet of paper and include it in your application. It's best if your essay can stick with the stuff you did in college and later. So again, like I said, my personal statement of purpose, I think when I was writing it, or I'm still writing it, by the way. It's still in the process. I keep on adding to it, and it's like about 2 pages now. I try to shorten it, but there's just nothing I feel like I can remove. Although I'm gonna have to do that somehow. But okay. But most of it is like I would say 95, probably 100%, 99 to 100% of it is from my college life. None of it is from my high school or something that I used to do this in high school. Besides, I didn't even program in high school, and I'm going for a computer science program now. None of it is from my high school, actually. Nothing before college, actually. Everything that's on that piece of paper is about my college life, I would say. So try to stick to that. Don't send in applications where you're having responses like these, that you're some kind of a genius and you basically did everything, take apart every appliance of your home and basically put it back together by the age of 5 or 7. Don't do that, because a lot of people are going to be doing that, and that just doesn't make you look good, especially if you want to stand out. Your first paragraph kind of puts off the admissions committee, and they wouldn't treat your whole application the same after that. You don't want that. Give them simply, truly what you are. Like, be true to yourself, be yourself, and depict that in your application. And I'm sure, I'm dead shot sure that they would find you unique. Even if they don't, it's fine. You're being yourself, you're being honest to yourself. It's great. Do not write something like this. It will, lower down your chances of getting admitted into that college. So again, these were the two mistakes that I kind of, I think it's really important to kind of bring this content out in the market, because the thing is that when I'm telling you about how you should really do well on an SOP, by the way, if you haven't watched this video, I'll put in the end of this video as well, so you can watch it. But if you're looking at what you should do to basically strengthen your application, you should also look at how basically the admissions committee would be critical about your application, really, how they would act as critiques and how you can avoid that. So try to research as much as you can about the admissions committee. This was from my personal research, and this was what I found, that basically, if you are doing these kinds of things, it's going to mess up your application. So at the same time, if you know how to write a good application, you should also know how a bad application is written down, so that you don't, you have everything in your respective columns, and you make sure that you stick to the good column, right? So again, guys, like I said, if I find any more content on statement of purpose, I know a lot of you guys are doing it on your own. I know a lot of you guys are also relying on consultants. So this is my, set of videos for you guys who are relying on yourself and trying to do this yourself. For all of those people who are relying on consultants, God help yourself. uh, I just hope that at least you're reading your statement of purpose after that, and you're reviewing these points as well, making sure that they haven't included something like this on your application. Okay. So I'm gonna see you in the next video, guys. Again, if you want to see my whole application process, go and follow me on Instagram. I post everything about my application process over there, even my colleges, my everything. Okay. And if you want to get in touch with me, again, follow me on Instagram. Hit me up, send me a message, whatever. I will respond within hours. Okay. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you like.